Macmillan Audio presents Benchwarmers, written by John Feinstein, read by David Vries. To Jane Bluth Feinstein, who would make Andi proud, and to the memory of Margot Pettyjohn, who made me proud. Chapter 1.
Michaels, what the heck are you doing here?
The mere sound of Ron Arlo's voice made Jeff Michaels cringe. He had just pulled on a blue and gold gym shirt with Marion Mustangs emblazoned across the chest, and there was Arlo taunting him before he could even get out of the locker room. He took a deep breath and turned in the direction of Arlo's voice.
"The same thing as you, Arlo,"
he said, trying to sound as matter-of-fact as possible.
"Trying out for the team."
Arlo smirked. He was at least 5 inches taller than Jeff, probably 5'6" to Jeff's 5'1". Only a month ago, Jeff's parents had made a big deal out of Jeff going past 5 feet on his 11th birthday. Arlo was the jock king of the 6th grade at Marion Middle School. When teams got chosen in the schoolyard, he was invariably one of the captains. He wasn't the tallest kid in the class, actually Clara Daniels was, but he was clearly the most athletic. Jeff had known Arlo since the 3rd grade, when Arlo had enrolled at the town's elementary school. Back then, Arlo wasn't that much bigger than Jeff, but the first time they'd played touch football during recess, Jeff had lined up on defense against Arlo, and then watched helplessly as the new kid raced past him to catch an easy touchdown pass as if Jeff were standing still. It was the same in basketball. Arlo was the first kid in the class who could make a 3-point shot, and in baseball, he was the best hitter Jeff had ever seen and made playing shortstop look easy. Jeff wasn't bad at sports. He wasn't as strong or athletically gifted as Arlo, but he knew how to play. He wasn't the fastest player on any field or court, but he often anticipated where the ball was going and got there before the ball did. He never forced a shot in basketball, even though by the time he turned 11 he was a pretty good shooter and knew how to find an open man. Jeff had never formally joined a soccer team before, but he loved when his dad took him to see the Philadelphia Union, the city's major league soccer team, and he'd played enough pickup games at school and in the park near his house that he understood it and thought he had a chance to be pretty good at it, if only because of his ability to see things before they happened. For as long as Jeff could remember, sports had played an important role in his life. His dad worked at NBC Sports Philadelphia as a reporter, and Jeff often went with him to games and had met some of the area's most famous athletes, including Carson Wentz, the Eagles quarterback, Joel Embiid, the 76ers star center, and Jim Curtin, who had coached the Union. He'd even met Rocky Balboa himself when Sylvester Stallone came back to town for a dinner celebrating the 40th anniversary of the most famous movie ever made in Philly. The Hollywood star had been very nice when Jeff's dad introduced him, but all Jeff could remember about him was that he was not nearly as big a guy as he expected. The 6th grade soccer team was brand new at Marion Middle, as well as at other schools in the region. Previously, 6th graders had been allowed to try out for the so-called varsity team, made up mostly of 7th and 8th graders in each sport. Only on very rare occasions did a 6th grader make a varsity squad. Apparently, enough parents had complained about their kids not having an opportunity to compete for an entire school year that Marion had created a 6th grade boys soccer team and a 6th grade girls field hockey team. There would also be 6th grade boys and girls basketball in the winter and softball for boys and girls in the spring. Jeff was thrilled when he first heard there would be 6th grade teams. This was day 1 of tryouts for the soccer team. 15 kids would make the team. Realistically, Jeff figured his chances of making the cut were about 50-50. There would be a basketball team in the winter. Jeff knew that would be his best chance to shine. His smarts and understanding of hoops would help him there. Soccer was more about speed and instincts. Jeff had average speed at best and wasn't yet certain if his instincts for the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?